Yeah.
So it's
I'm not seeing any chat. I'm not seeing any. Yeah, it's playing back. It says it's a 6 minute.
offline. Oh,
It's offline.
no,
It's saying it's a
now. So
6.5 minute video.
okay, now it's back up. Now it's back up.
it is.
It's back up now.
YouTube
Is
did
it?
something funky.
Yeah. Yeah, so what happens is it gets disconnected briefly sometimes if OBS does that, or I guess internet spaz out. But yeah, it's back up. I mean, my OBS light is green. I know it was flashing orange and red earlier, but now it's back up green. But I record these anyway.
That's weird. I'm not. I can't see the chat.
I see the chat. It's going. See we're back.
I'm just getting the playback of the first 6.5 minutes with that link.
Well, I could.
What am I
I could
missing?
see you that it's on now. Let me give you the link, I guess. Yeah.
All right, let's try this. It's still just whatever.
Here, let me give you
I
the
just can't do it.
It might have started a new video feed on a different link. It might have done that.
It did.
Okay.
It did.
Okay. Then that
Hold
happens sometimes. Yeah.
Here it is. I'm putting
But
it
like
in
I
our
said,
chat.
I record these anyway, so. Feed on a different link. It might have done. Yeah.
There. It's in our chat.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
all right. So we are back, and it looks like it's working now. That's fine. That's good. Like I said, I record these anyway, so because that way I can upload to the podcast, RSS feed, and also so I can just upload it all together if I need to. So anyway, oh man, what was I going to talk about? Oh, I was going to mention Cinco de Mayo. I don't know if you guys celebrate that, but man. Okay, first off, do you guys even celebrate that?
It's an excuse to drink tequila.
Pretty much. Pretty much just one giant excuse to drink tequila. Yeah. Tequila and eat a buttload of fajitas.
Hell yeah.
Man. I dug it. It was good. Good stuff. Except for the fact that one of my midgets tried to get out of the damn shed and ruin the back fence. I had to fix that thing. I had to fix the back fence. Drunk.
You're gonna charge them for that, aren't you?
No, I'll make them
take it out of their paychecks.
Make them work a little bit extra.
Was that the video that I saw?
Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a tortilla chip salad with a queso dressing.
Oh, I'm coming to your house.
Oh.
Also known as nachos.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that dish. It's even great. It's great when we put some pico de gallo on there and stuff. Guacamole. Yeah. Maybe put some sour cream, put some hot sauce, chile, or
jalapenos.
Yeah, just top that thing off. Top it off.
Yeah. It's just a
yum.
It's just a fancy salad.
Mm-hmm. And I would be drinking tequila, by the way, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm out of it.
Fajitas.
Becky, you got something to say? You got to speak up, lady.
Huh?
I keep hearing you trying to chime in, and then you get talked over.
Oh,
speak up.
Okay.
Probably tequila. It's probably tequila.
Probably.
By the way, is Christopher still here?
He is.
Good. Okay, cool.
All right.
Because for those who don't know who you are you and what do you do? The big question. It's like the biggest question of the night.
The question is always, who are we?
Who are we?
But
let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down to just you.
when you sit there and you try and answer that question, it's pretty complicated because as a person, you know, you are one way, but then as an author on writing, and they're like, are you the same way as a writer as you are as a person? And I usually answer that with I can be, because I use a lot of myself in my writing. So even when people who know me read my works, they're like, okay, I can see where there is a lot of you in there, but at the same time, when they also read through the characters, they're like, wait a minute, is that really you, or are you embellishing a little bit, or are you adding a little bit to that particular character? What are you really doing here? Like my first trilogy is a conspiracy trilogy, but the main character is pretty much autobiographical in nature for me, and as a writer, as I wrote through it, and then read it back to myself. It was pretty scary that there was so much of myself in that trilogy. And even the new series that I'm on right now, which is a more of a fantasy series, is called the Haven series. There's definitely a lot of me in the story. So I would say as a writer and as a person, I try to really add that authenticity to my writing, and people who know me and read me and then read my characters and read into me as a person, they're like, okay, yeah, I can see where you're bringing yourself to life uh, in the story, but at the same time, you can read through it and go, well, this could be, almost any person.
Wow. And so, in what ways do you? In what other ways do you bring yourself into your work?
I'm always looking to get my readers engaged, and I'm always thinking about what I like to read when I'm developing a character. I always think back to characters I've liked, things I was interested in, and I mean, I just write, and then I look back afterwards and I say, okay, what can I do with this character? Um, because at some point in time, when you're developing characters, they do take on a life of their own, but at the same time, you have to go back in and you have to make sure that those particular characters can find themselves in the story, but at the same time, they have to be their own people and they have to have their own story with them. So I think that's what I try to do the most is I try to get those characters to have a little bit of a taste of my personality, but at the same time I want them to be on their own and I want them to grow and develop into their own particular character from there.
What
Gotcha.
makes a compelling character?
For me, it's someone who comes to me and says, Chris, what the hell were you doing with this character? Like, what did you think of when you put this character together? One of the characters in my first trilogy, The Gridiron Conspiracy, is called Dr. Chase, and he is the villain. But by the end of the trilogy, you're really not sure what to do with this guy. You either love him or you hate him. He's that character that you just end up with and you don't know what to do with him. So if I can do that to people where you either love a character or hate a character or even just don't know what to do with them, then I think you're pretty much on your way to developing a character that people are going to love. And that, for me, that's the most important thing is are people identifying with your characters? Can they take the character and then can they see themselves in the story?
Wow, that's pretty deep.
Okay, we have a question in the chat. Do you create your characters first and then a story around them, or the story first and then create the character to make the story happen?
I think for me, it's a little bit of both because I always have a particular story in mind, and I'm a visual artist as well, so I can really see the story develop in my mind. And of course, just like most people, I'm going to story map it. I'm going to put it out. I'm pretty much a nerd. I do it all on index cards first. So I kind of map it all out on index cards and put them on the table and outline everything and think about, what the characters might look like even before I name them or come up with, the character itself. I think of what characters would really fit well in the story. So for me, I think it's a little bit of both because I think the characters, they definitely develop at the same time as the story as I'm going.
Okay.
Right.
And when you do this, like, oh man, like, where do you draw your ideas as far as like the way the characters are going to look? Is there some sort of reference that you use, or is it just kind of just comes to mind?
It comes to mind.
Okay.
And, visually speaking, I always have a picture in my mind of what I want the character to look like. And then, I take that picture and then I build the personality around the picture that I see in my mind.
Okay.
And how do you do that? Building the personality. Do you write some backstory? Do you actually write out stuff about the character?
I do.
How do you do
I
that?
always have. I always start like a little dossier on each character, and I have notes as I visually see this character in my mind. I start taking notes on what I want the character to do, the personality, and as the story goes and continues to unfold, I always go back and add more notes. And then when I go back in and I edit and I look at the characters, to make sure that it's because some people will say, is the development weak or is it strong? And, depending on the style of the writer, you may very well want a weak character to help build up some of the other stronger characters.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're writing, that's a possibility as well.
Or you can just end up creating a whole bunch of strong characters that people like, and then you end up in a situation like Game of Thrones where you have all these strong characters, a little bit of screen time left. You're gonna make some bad choices. I don't know. You've been following Game of Thrones, but apparently people aren't really happy with what's going on with that. It's like, oh man.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but they already came out when they got their scripts, and they were all pissed because everybody dies. So, I mean, what do you think? It is the last season, guys.
Yep. They're all gonna die.
That's one way to make sure it's the last season is to kill everybody.
Yep.
So we'll see.
So
I don't know. Personally, I think we're going to see Aya on the throne at the very end.
Oh my god. I mean, with the way things happened, I know not everyone's seen this recent season, but if you haven't seen it, it's like... Okay, I'll just put it this way. The person you least likely think would be the one who takes out the Night King. Takes out the Night King. It's like, what? What? Anyway. Oh, man.
But hey, a girl has no name.
Hey, yep. Look at that. No name. She's nothing. She's nothing now.
A girl has no coffee. Oh, wait, she does.
Oh.
All right, Mr. P.
Coffee cupcake.
I can call you Mr. P, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. P. All right. So, if someone's new to your work, where should they start, and why?
That's an excellent question, and for the simple reason that it really depends on your particular preference in, even though I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I would love people to start with the Gridiron Conspiracy and that trilogy. If you are a fantasy person, then you definitely want to go to the Haven series and start there. So it really depends on your preference as a reader and what you're drawn to.
Okay. So, wow, that's two choices right there. So you got like a sports-based conspiracy thriller, and then a fantasy. Like are we talking about like knights and elves and stuff, or what kind of fantasy?
Well, the Haven series really started. Uh, my grandfather was a naval officer in World War II, and he left his footlocker for me. And when he passed on, I started looking through it and rummaging through it, and there's all these wonderful artifacts, and there's patches and all these different things and medals and stuff that he traded with the Allies. But there was also a lot of Nazi memorabilia because, believe it or not, a lot of these guys, when they would walk into a bar, they were sharing the bar with Allies, but they also a lot of times shared the bars with the Germans and other like Austrians, and so they would be walking into the bar and they'd be sharing time with each other, and they would actually swap things and trade things. And then of course if they captured anybody, then of course they would capture all that and take that with them. So we had all these wonderful artifacts in this footlocker. So I'm like,
wow.
what the heck? What is my grandfather doing with just a German journal? So I took it to one of my colleagues at the college and asked them to translate it for me. So they did, and come to find out that it talks about the 1938 Nazi expedition to Antarctica, of all places.
Wait.
Wait, firsthand?
Yes, firsthand. This is a documented trip. I mean, they documented everything, and they were actually looking for Rainbow City, which is supposedly an ancient alien civilization underneath Antarctica. And this was documented proof that they were there. There's times, there's places, there's people, and I really didn't think much of it up until I started looking at in the margins, because in the margins of the journal are all Allied notes.
It's about Rainbow City.
including including Admiral Byrd, who did Operation High Jump in 1946. And getting an ancient journal, magical journal from his grandfather. He unlocks the secrets to the journal, and in the process unlocks the secrets to his own life.
Oh. Whoa.
So as soon as he unlocks the magic to the journal, the magic in himself awakens, and it's almost like opening Pandora's box.
So what's the origins of this myth about Antarctica? Where did that start? Where did the Germans get this idea?
Well, this is something that has been known for quite some time, and if you look back in time, a lot of people will tell you that there's no possibility that Antarctica ever had life, but there's a 500-year-old map that begs to differ, because the 500-year-old map actually shows Antarctica as being a plush place. And through all different kinds of analysis and thermal imaging and just Google Maps and everything else, they've been able to pretty much corroborate exactly what the map says. And not only that, they found pretty much evidence of everything in Antarctica. When Admiral Byrd came back and he described the huge hole in the South Pole, which now and again is photographed by Google Earth, but within an hour it's taken down. So Admiral Byrd described going.
Why is it taken down? What's going on with this hole? Like, sorry.
Because Admiral Byrd described going into the hole, and he flew into the hole and actually found the entrance to the civilization. So Rainbow City has been known for quite some time.
Okay, so you can't find an image of Rainbow City or this whole because they take it down.
They do.
Why?
I mean, not that long
Why
ago,
does it? Why does it need to be a secret?
not
Who
that
cares?
long ago, they also took they found a crash site from an unidentified flying object that crashed right near it, and that was taken down. That was taken down within 20 minutes.
Oh man,
Did anybody have screen grabs of this stuff?
Yes, they did.
they did. But where can you find it though?
Yep.
There has to be some place you can find it, like Deep Web or something.
Curiosity Stream has it.
Curiosity Stream. Okay. Oh, we have a question in the chat real fast. Can you confirm for me Gridiron is a trilogy? I believe you said that Gridiron is a trilogy. Is it right?
Yes,
Yep.
Gridiron Conspiracy is a trilogy. Book 1 is Gridiron Conspiracy. Chasing Shadows is book 2, and Redemption is book 3.
Okay. We also had we got a super chat in the chat there from Becky. I love this podcast. Isn't that beautiful? That's great. That's great. But this Rainbow City,
Yeah, Becky's pretty cool.
and whole in Antarctica really have my interest here because just wow. I've heard.
Well, it definitely had my interest from the get-go because I'm an Ancient Aliens guy anyway. And myself, when I went into the military, I did pararescue in the United States Air Force. I did even more research on my grandfather and tried to find out what it is that he did in the military and why he ended up having this particular journal. Come to find out that one of his main jobs was hunting down the Nazis.
Oh, okay.
You know, even during the war and just afterwards, he was on one of the teams that was responsible for hunting down Hitler in Argentina in 1952.
They were looking for him in Argentina.
Yes,
They thought he actually went over there.
according to everything we know, he was there.
Whoa.
And this was even before the show Hunting Hitler ever came out.
SK, you got something?
Well,
I
I know
got
that
questions.
Eichmann was there for sure.
Joseph Mengele was there. Martin Bormann was there.
The Israelis captured Eichmann.
Yes, they did.
There are definitely reports of U-boats showing up post-war in South America.
I'm aware of the
And
U-boats.
I did tons and tons of research on this, and I use all that research in the story because in my story, the ancient aliens, there are two factions of the ancient aliens. There are the ancient aliens that are there to help humanity, and there are the ancient aliens that are there to destroy humanity. And the ancient aliens that are there to destroy humanity are aligned with the Nazis in Rainbow City.
in the Clinton Foundation.
All the Nazis that left made their way down to South America and then in turn made their way. There are 52 countries that have 48 bases in Antarctica right now. Not scientific communities, military bases.
Military bases in Antarctica. Wow.
Yes.
Like, and wait.
There's not supposed to be any.
Yeah, I thought there was a treaty about that. I thought there was an agreement that there's not supposed to be any military bases there. Haven't they seen the movie The Thing? I don't think this is going to work out very well. I mean, but did you see in the news that sorry, just real fast. In the news, they were talking about how with the military saying that we can't just dismiss all these UFO sightings, these unidentified flying objects as just whatever. Like, we actually have to start looking into them because there's been all these reports from pilots seeing things that they can't really describe, and that's just interesting. I'm sure you heard about that.
But they also said they won't tell anybody what they find out.
Well,
I mean, they did. They said that.
Well, I think what you're finding now too is that with the advent of the internet and social media and everything being available to people instantaneously, I think it's becoming more and more difficult for them to keep things what's actually going on. So, so my premise in my stories is that the ancient aliens have never left. They've been here all along, and the two factions of the ancient aliens have been, let's say, orchestrating humanity through the centuries.
man. So, do you think
It's interesting.
Do you think it could be these ancient aliens, like the bad ones, are trying to like push this narrative about flat Earth to convince people that Antarctica has never been explored and stuff like that? Or do you think that's just
Well, I mean, people talk about the flat Earth theory, but it really doesn't. I mean, it's been disproven so many different times. It's
yeah.
ridiculous. But one of the theories that does have some credence is the hollow Earth theory, and not that Earth is actually hollow, but between the mantle and the crust, there are vast pockets of caverns and water and thermodynamics, and there are lots and lots of areas in between where life does prosper. So when Jules Verne wrote about this, 150 years ago, 160 years ago now, when he wrote about this, he had documented proof in many cases of this, because he had people who had explored some of these caverns.
Who was the Norwegian guy who claimed to have gone into the hollow Earth?
Well, that's one thing I can't answer. All I can answer is
yeah, I mean, he wrote a book.
What I have seen, what I've done my research on, and I mean, you just look at all the different ancient alien shows and interviews, and all these people that have come out of the woodwork, and all of a sudden, they have all these things to present, whether it's MUFON or any of these folks. For the longest time, those people were all viewed as quacks. But now you look at them now, and people are actually really paying very close attention to what these folks have to say.
wow. I mean, that is a lot to take in too. I mean, I get that normal people may not want to know and may not even be interested, but the truth is important. The truth could set you free, man. Like, just knowing that it's there, even if it's, I mean, it would totally change your perspective on things. If you found out there's ancient aliens on this planet and they're operating behind the scenes, and it's like, well, damn.
Yes. So here's the thing about I have doubts, okay, and they stem from questions like, why are they hiding? These son of a guns came from these son of a guns came from millions of light years away. They have that technology. Why are they hiding?
Why are they hiding?
And why does the governments of the world care? And why, speaking of Game of Thrones, there was a great quote from Game of Thrones where they were talking about a secret, and one of the guys says, "Well, how many people know?" And he said, "A few." Well, then it's not a secret; it's information. And there's no, governments are shitty at keeping secrets.
The low tier ones are. Low tier ones. But what about the top tier? What about like Russia? And like, well, I guess they're pretty bad. How bad are they? Russia can keep some good secrets, right?
Nah, not really.
I mean, you don't know everything they do, right?
Yeah, we kind of do.
China is the one I'm really worried about because you don't ever hear anything about
Yeah.
fucking China, and they're launching fake moons into space. That's a real thing. They want to put a moon. They want to put a moon base in space. China does. We read about this. There was an article, but no one talks about this.
Yeah.
It's like they want to put a moon base in space just to illuminate. They claim it's just to light up the streets. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. It's a fucking Death Star. That's what the shit is. No, don't let China do that. You tell them no.
Oh yeah, no, I'm laughing. It's China.
You may
China's
fire
up
when
to
ready.
China is up to some shit.
They
Let me
are,
tell you, they
and
they
no one
up
calls
to
them
some
out.
shit.
No one
And they
talks
have
about it.
always-
Even, you know what? Not to bring this subject into a sad note, but even now, right now, China has some secretive shit going on. They have like concentration camps, or they have camps where they put like Muslims and whatever. And what are they doing with those camps? No one talks about it.
They've always had re-education camps.
Oh, but these are more than just re-education camps. You gotta look into it. What's going on with these camps? Oh, no one's talking about it. No one really talks about it. I don't know. It's just interesting about China, though. They're up to nothing. Nothing good. What do you think?
No,
Mr. P? You think China's going to be the one who knows... Wait. Which government do you think knows the most about these ancient aliens?
To be perfectly honest with you, they all are in communication with each other quite often about it. And China has because they're just like us now, because with all the technology that's available to us, I mean, with the thermal dynamics and the imaging and the Google Earth, I mean, they have basically come out and said the same thing that we have said with all the pyramids around the globe. There have for years and years, we've been told that these pyramids were, just this, just a wonder of the ancient world. And true, they are a wonder of the ancient world. However, there's a lot more to these pyramids than just that. These pyramids have been made throughout the world. They're not just in any place. They're all on ley lines across the planet. So these wireless devices, wireless electromagnetic devices, are something that we're still coming to terms with the fact that these things are on our planet across the globe, and we still really don't know how to use these things. Once we actually really figure out how to use these things, and I think you're gonna see the key. You're gonna see.
Hey, Mr. P. Mr. P.
we don't know how to use which things.
Yeah, Mr. P. Back up real fast. Explain to us like we're five about the pyramids being power plants. I think that's what you're getting at. I heard this theory before.
Okay, so the pyramids are conductors.
Okay.
Now,
what?
Now,
Based
now
on
here's the
what?
now here's the issue. Here's the issue with these things being conductors. People sit here and
Wait a
say,
minute.
"Well, geez, they're electromagnetic energy."
Okay.
Okay. So they're conductive.
Which is exactly what all your wireless devices work on today.
Well, but that's okay. Electromagnetic energy is a very broad topic, and there's, tens of thousands of frequencies.
Exactly.
And conducting is not generating, right? That's a different function. Conducting, a wire is conductive, right?
Yeah. Well, try telling that to Tesla.
Well, Tesla would understand that a wire is conductive and that There's
Yes,
a difference
but-
between
Yes, but
conducting and generating.
Tesla is the person that came the closest to actually unlocking the usage of the pyramid, and he actually did it in a humongous tower that the United States government made him tear down.
I heard about
The
that
one
too.
in Long Island. The one in Long Island.
Yes,
He lost his funding.
he didn't lose his funding; it was taken from him.
Well, okay.
Like
along
Operation.
with
He stopped having any money.
along with all his patents and
Wait.
everything else.
Wait. But think about it this way, SK. Couldn't that just be like the modern day Operation Choke Point, where like they didn't like what he was doing, so what they did is they just choke him out from his money.
It wasn't just the government.
They used banks.
Thomas Edison was behind a lot of the shit that happened to Tesla. There's no question about that. That's documented. Tesla got the shaft in a lot of ways, and he was a brilliant man. He knew things about electricity that we still don't understand.
What he was trying to do is he was trying to send electricity wirelessly.
Yes. It's
Which
what
is
we call
exactly
radio.
which is exactly what the pyramids do.
Now I'll say this about the pyramids. Because one thing about this theory, I don't know if this doesn't really prove his theory, but it does add evidence to what the hell. When I was a kid, I was told the pyramids are pretty much a giant tomb, but they're not a giant tomb. I mean, they are like not really the way they're constructed. Like there's something else to the pyramids, right? It would seem like just a giant waste just to be a tomb, wouldn't it?
Well, and the fact that every day they find more and more of these pyramids along the ley lines, it is, and of course these people in the ancient world were supposedly unable to contact each other, and they made these pyramids to the same specifications. That's a pretty amazing feat, considering that these folks couldn't communicate with one another, and supposedly they were working with stone tools.
Now explain the ley lines, because there's someone in the chat who's asked about, well, wouldn't the pyramids need like metal running through them to do what he's saying? Now, what do the ley lines?
Well, not necessarily.
The stones that they are made of are natural conductors. So you don't actually need metal rods, or you don't actually need wires for it to be a conductor.
So if that's true, you could put a energy source at one end of a stone, have like a generator, and put two wires on the edges on one end of a stone to another end of a stone, and the electricity would pass through them unimpeded, more or less.
They've done that at Stonehenge.
Well, that's not
proven.
The pyramids.
But some of the pyramids are made from the same exact stone.
That would be difficult to do.
You got to think of the quarry where Stonehenge got the stones from. It's almost impossible to get those stones there.
Does that mean that the Druids came down to Egypt and quarried stones and dragged their asses all the way back to England?
Ancient aliens.
Well, who are the Druids? That's the question.
No,
that's not the question. The question is, were the stones quarried in the same place?
Well, the stones have been quarried throughout the planet, but the stones
you
themselves
just said they were the same stones.
They are very similar in makeup.
Like there's stones made from the same material.
If you talk to most geologists, and they look at the stones that make up a majority of the pyramids across the world, most of the stones are the same makeup.
Wow.
Same kind of stone, you're saying?
Geologically, yes.
They're made out of the same material.
Similar, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, similar and same, not quite
Well,
the same wording. You know what I mean?
in terms of the properties and having the same amount of metal inside the stones, yeah, pretty similar.
I mean, have they measured the resistance of the pyramid stones?
They have.
I mean, I don't have any rebuttals for any of this, but this is fascinating.
I mean,
I mean, it's interesting stuff. Like, one thing I like about this podcast is that normally we don't really, of course, plan with the guests like what are you interested in, stuff like that. But this, we got to get you back on the later episode to go in full depth into some of these conspiracies. When I guess we've done some our own research, or have someone else to counter. I guess would you be up for that? I guess to
Absolutely.
debate the pyramid. What do you call it? Is it like the the power plant pyramid theory? What is it called?
Yeah, I mean, there are many theories out there, whether they are a power plant, whether they are a wireless device,
Yeah.
whether they are a communication outlet. There's even theories out there that they are just a way to navigate across this particular world. Because the ancient aliens, they needed a grid on the planet to be able to find their way. So if you subscribe to that theory, many of these things that are now coming to light, like these particular sites that nobody could see but anywhere from up above Earth. And now all of a sudden, because we have planes and we have been into space and we can see all these different things, now the people are sitting here saying, well, there might actually be something to this.
I see. Wow, and man, you blow my mind so far, because during this whole thing, I'm still thinking about this Rainbow City place. I want to see what Rainbow City looks like.
Well,
we're taking a field trip.
Well, I honestly, I have to tell you that I've spoken to several scientists that have been there to Antarctica, and they are scared to death to talk about anything that they've seen there. I will just say that.
What could be so bad about a place called Rainbow City?
It's not that they're scared to death of the place. They're scared. It seems to me that they're scared of us knowing too much.
Why?
Because we would all want to go
I
there.
Still don't know why it's a big fucking secret.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I've never seen a solid explanation of why this has to be a big fucking secret. If they've been here for thousands of years, why the fuck are they hiding?
It's Cthulhu.
Yeah,
That's
but
who it is.
here's the thing. The thing is that the overriding idea right now is that they're not hiding, that they are just living inside the earth where they've always been living. So it's not necessarily hiding. And I approach that in my books, because there has always been a number of different species that people have constantly said that they have seen, whether it's the grays, the browns, whatever species of alien that they've seen. But one of the most prevailing species that people have seen throughout the planet over the centuries has been the reptilian people.
I was going to ask you, what do you think?
And the reptilian people have been described, drawn, talked about in the same exact way across the globe for centuries. They've been drawn exactly the same way. They've been described exactly the same way. And they're always described this way, that they have come from the ground. They've come from inside the earth.
Hey,
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yes.
yes, you can,
So,
Becky.
better than anybody you know, right? Shut up, birthday. So, okay. So the theory is that the ancient aliens live in the earth, correct?
They live in the asshole of the earth. No, Antarctica.
Nobody
South-
said the asshole.
No, it's South Pole. It's a hole in the South Pole. That is the asshole of the earth. They live in the asshole of the earth.
Well,
Called Rainbow City.
most
It's like a big gay joke. You
most
can't make this up.
scientists, most scientists will tell you that
And the Nazis love
Antarctica
it. The
has
Nazis love
not been frozen for as long as people think. You know, everybody thinks that Antarctica has been frozen since the last ice age, but many scientists have gone down there, and even that when they just got done drilling through the lake. There's a huge lake in Antarctica. They drilled down in it, and right below the lake, it's teeming with life. So if it was frozen 10,000 or so years ago, there's no way that would have been able to be possible. And like I said earlier in the broadcast, we have a hand-drawn map of Antarctica within the last 500 years. And people will sit here and say, well, geez, how could they have a map that's, this detailed and, it's still been 10,000 years ago, which is not the case. So how did Antarctica become this frozen wasteland? Well, there's a lot of theories about that.
Being that it's in the South Pole. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Yes, but the poles shift.
Well, the magnetic, that's going to be really fucking weird when that happens next time.
When is it supposed to happen? Tomorrow?
Nah, the actually the magnetic north has shifted several degrees just in the past decade.
Ah,
Yeah.
where? Like, what's north now? Like, I don't even know. So Antarctica.
I'm not sure I know up from down at the moment.
So Antarctica is not the ass of the earth anymore, then. So the ass of the earth joke doesn't work. The asshole of the earth.
No, it's still. I mean, no. Magnetic north has shifted slightly.
Okay.
Was what I'm saying.
Good.
It's just a few degrees.
Because I want to go
But
to this.
there's geological evidence that the poles have completely flipped in the past, ancient past.
Okay, well, let me ask Christopher, Mr. P, something real fast. So, if we all wanted to go on a voyage to Antarctica to see this stuff, what would happen? If we got the GoFundMe and it was fully funded, we had our plane ready, all that ready to go. We're gonna go out and let's go see
You
Rainbow
wanna
City.
We want to see that motherfucking city,
We
man.
want to see Rainbow City. What would happen?
They wouldn't let you.
Who would
You
stop
wouldn't-
us?
near it.
You wouldn't get in. You wouldn't get in about 500 miles of it.
What would
Who
happen?
would
Right.
stop us?
Well,
A government.
Number one, it's a no-fly zone, and
Shoot
there's
me
a
down.
treaty with there's a treaty with over 100 countries that they
Okay.
won't let you fly over it.
Who's
who's
going to
Kelly
stop
said
you?
the
Who's gonna
thing
re-
would get you.
Who's gonna reinforce that?
The thing.
Yeah, there's no
Kelly
fighter
said it
jets
was the
down
thing.
there.
Considering that there's 48 bases surrounding it, military bases, I think they would take care of it.
Let's find out.
Whose military
I'm in,
bases?
Jesse.
Like U.S., China, North Korea, South Korea?
Oh Christ! I'm gonna
Yeah,
need
Japan.
bail money.
There's 52 countries down there.
No,
So they have fighter aircraft on the South Pole.
There's
Don't-
48 military bases.
That could be anything.
So I'm gonna
right?
need bail money.
So here's what we
No,
do,
there won't be
guys.
anything left.
Here's what we do. we just We just go for it. See what happens. And we
Let's
live
stream it.
We
We'll
live stream it on
stream it.
YouTube. Let the world
Absolutely.
know.
Let's do
Hey,
it.
we're live streaming YouTube right now. As soon
Yeah,
as they
this
shoot us down.
This
as soon
is
as they shoot-
Deadman's Tome. We're doing a live stream over here in Antarctica. Boom!
Absolutely.
We're done.
Let's do it. Let's do
But
it.
the world will know
I'm
what
in, just-
happened. And of course, I'll try to take it down. But so
Pilot the co-pilot. We're going down in flames.
we'll stream it on multiple platforms so that even if YouTube takes it down, it's still up
Do I
somewhere
get a
else.
say in this?
No, we need
don't
you
have-
to help us out.
Oh,
I think this would be great.
Wait a minute. You mean I'm going to have to talk our way onto the base and through the South Pole, right?
Becky,
That's
you're probably
what you
the
mean.
only one who makes it. They'll take you in because they want you for for reptilian stuff.
Research.
Yeah,
Hey.
you'll be allowed in the Rainbow City.
probing.
For probing.
They're gonna
They're gonna
probe you.
They're gonna experiment on you.
No.
Probe you in the Rainbow City.
You've always said you
You're
wanted to
gonna
be
think
probed
Rainbow
by
City.
aliens.
Oh,
I
they're
Right
gonna,
in the rainbow.
they're gonna probe you, all right.
You know, I'm not gonna get.
They'll
I'm not gonna
probe
get tired.
Jesse.
I'm not gonna get tired of saying Rainbow City. I'm really not. I'm
No.
at the beginning of this
know.
podcast
Damn it.
when I heard Hitler or the Nazis were obsessed with Rainbow City. I'm like, that is a gay joke right there. Just where is it?
Oh, fuck me.
I'm like, come on, man. What?
Yeah,
Okay.
You know,
Jesse.
when you really think about it, that wasn't really that outrageous because Hitler was into all kinds of occult things, and he was looking for any edge during World War II, including looking for the Spear of Destiny. I mean, he was looking
yeah.
for all these military and religious artifacts that had occult value, and he was scouring the earth for these things.
Maybe
so that's not
he
really
shouldn't
all
have-
that far fetched.
Maybe he shouldn't have had a two-front war, but you know, I don't know. It's interesting because Hitler was, I don't know, exploring all sorts of weird stuff. It's like, man, he was obsessed with the occult.
Yeah, well, Hitler, man.
Okay, can
But I'm glad he lost.
we do the-
All right. So, oh wait, we have some other topics tonight. Real fast. So Becky,
Yeah,
what's
we have a
going?
caption contest, please.
Oh, yeah.
We got some time. Well,
Is that the Pringles
No.
thing?
I think so.
Yes.
Oh, tell me about the fleas infest
Yes.
the police. What's going on with that? What is this?
What?
Flea invasion forces Paris police station to close. The building in the 19th district of the French capital will shut for 2 days as experts attempt to kill the fleas. An outbreak of fleas has led to the closure of a Paris police station after officers complained they were being bitten by the parasites, and they were taking them to their homes. They were taking them home with them.
Well, just
Sounds like a real circus to me.
Yeah.
just get rid of it. Just spray for fleas. How hard can it be?
Maybe
Well-
they can talk some youths into coming in with fire bombs.
Yeah, right.
Did you just say you?
Youths.
Utes.
Utes.
Yeah, I wore this ridiculous thing for you.
Hmm.
Oh my lord. So yeah, they're closing that one, and they're gonna sanitize it.
So that's what you need to do to get rid of the police, huh? Just bring out a box of fleas. That's what you do. Just give.
Just take some fleas in there.
Huh?
I want to know. Somebody had to have brought them in, or something, an animal or someone.
Have you
They
been to
didn't
Paris
just,
lately?
like- No.
I heard they piss and shit in the streets. Oh wait, they do that over here in San.
No, that's San
Francisco.
Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh yeah, they have a
Real-
shit
it's
map.
a real problem.
They have a shit map. The map out where all the shit is at.
Well, speaking of shit, there was a teen that beheaded a classmate in a jealous rage over his girlfriend.
Oh whoa, wait. Beheaded or got
Beheaded,
head?
like cut his head off.
Behead.
No. Cut his cut his head off.
Oh, I thought it read classmate got head because of his jealous girlfriend or whatever. Jealous rage over his girlfriend, which made more sense.
That wouldn't be news.
But
That wouldn't be news, would it?
no,
No.
that would actually
This kid was
celebrate. That would
15 years old.
15 years old and he beheaded someone?
He cut off the head and hands of a 16-year-old. Mm-hmm.
Heads and hand. What?
He killed the high school sophomore in a jealous rage after accusing him of sleeping with his girlfriend, causing them to split. I think of killing someone and it's all I think about all day. He texted the girlfriend, according to the distant.
The fucker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did she not tell anybody?
I don't think she did. I don't think she did. She probably was like, "Oh, he's just joking. He's just him being him."
The body was found by a man walking his dog, and the victim's head was found in a bag nearby.
Well, I guess keep the evidence close by, I guess.
I hate to say this. I don't mean to minimize. I don't mean to minimize what this asshole's done, but we know. There's now one less psychopath roaming the streets. This guy has self-identified, and he's not going to get away with shit anymore. He got one.
Hopefully, what if he?
He got the one.
There's no way. There's no way he would get off on this. He's going in.
The guy said that the kid said that he told him that he stabbed him to death and then cut his hands and head off so he couldn't be identified.
Well, you dumb. Well, he left the stuff right there next to the body. But
right.
Then again,
he wasn't trying to get caught. I mean, he wasn't trying to hide. He was. He was okay with being caught.
But
and he's 15. He's 15. He's old enough to be tried as an adult.
And this is over.
Oh, they are trying him as an adult. This happened April the 30th. This just happened recently.
He needs to be tried. He needs to be tried as an adult. Hell, you know what? My personal thoughts on this: prison's too good for him. Someone like this, honestly, who doesn't even value life enough, where he's just gonna do this over some jealous rage over some girlfriend. He's gonna kill someone, behead him, and take their hands off. No. There's no fixing that. You can be like, you can spend tax-paying money and keep them locked away. I tell you what, go a discount, buy a bullet, be done with it. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at the same time, prison's not going to be fun for this guy.
No, it's not. But isn't that messed up too? That we're like, well, at least in prison, we know that the other prisoners might shank him to death. What? It's just because we don't have the balls to do it or something? What? We want to get our hands.
You know what really bothers
outsource it.
Me about all this?
What's that?
That they'll probably give him life and then give him parole after 30 years. And then be surprised when they release him and he does it again.
It's unlikely, some cases are so atrocious and heinous that they just will never get parole.
Well, I know, but I mean, generally speaking, when someone commits a crime like that or along those lines, and then they give them 10 years and they release them in 5, and then they're surprised because they do it again. Well, no shit, they did it again. They went to prison. They didn't get any help. They just learned how to be a better criminal.
Yeah, totally. And we're really
we really digress
off the rails on that, but that's
Sorry.
I mean, that guy should never set foot out of custody ever again.
I agree.
100%.
Did you see the picture
Even
of
more
him?
so. Yeah, I think I did. And what he had was like a mop head, right? Just
I
a
mean,
fro hair.
yeah, yeah. He does not look like he could give two shits less.
Who left him?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not a girl that he was currently with. You know, it's not like, oh, this is, you know, I got to defend her honor or protect her from some shit or something like that. She was already gone. She packed up and left his ass.
She did.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, yeah, already gone. She packed.
I wonder why too, huh? Complete psycho. Complete freaking psycho. I mean, who's gonna stay with someone like that?
I mean, she's pretty lucky that
She didn't
she
get
didn't
killed.
It
become
wasn't
his
her.
target. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, and in other news, there's a new royal baby.
A royal what,
A
baby?
royal baby back ribs. Like at
No,
Chili's.
no.
Oh.
No, you can't eat this one. It's a real baby.
Oh, but maybe you
The
can.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex welcomed their firstborn child yesterday or today.
And look, we had this whole shooting match 250 years ago so that we don't have to care about this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine.
And a lot of it took place right there in Boston.
Yep. Just a traitorous baby. That's what that is.
Well, unfortunately, right now you're dealing with the fact that not only is it the heir to the throne, you're also dealing with the fact that it is also has ties to America as well.
Oh, that's right, because he got American
Yeah.
woman. He found no.
It's
You know-
the
you know what I
beginning
blame?
of the end.
You know what I blame?
It's the beginning of the end.
I blame all those romantic
Brought a-
comedies. No. I blame all those romantic comedies that Hollywood was pumping out and those romance
Well,
novels.
I'm glad
where
I don't watch
they,
that
they
shit.
glorify the British guy, the British accent, whatever. So some prince can come over here and woo himself an American woman, not knowing any better, not knowing that she's going to go to bed with a traitor, with a tyrant.
I am not even going to comment on that.
Don't.
I'm just saying, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm saying I'm not commenting on the English.
She doesn't want to get in
thing.
trouble. She doesn't want to get in trouble.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Are you telling me that you would fall for that? The British accent?
Hell fucking no.
Oh.
I've dealt with one Englishman. That was enough.
Oh, are we
Oh.
stereotyping now?
Oh.
No.
He
But
sent
the one I dealt with was enough.
you something, huh? This British guy, he sent you something that was forever lasting, huh?
So let me
No.
tell you a story about
But-
when I was in Boston. I was in Boston like a little over 20 years ago, and it was for a conference, and my buddies and we went up to the Bunker Hill Memorial, but it was after hours, so everything was pretty much closed. Nobody else was there, but it was still, twilight-ish kind of time. And there was one other guy there walking around reading stuff, and we ended up kind of looking at the same plaque or something at the same time, and it turned out he was Irish.
Ah.
And he looked over at us. He goes, "Only Americans would build a monument to a battle they lost."
Well,
I've got one
It's
more
like,
kind of
yeah, you don't get it.
yeah. I've got one more kind of crazy news story if you want one more.
sure.
Yeah.
What is it?
An iguana badly injured when it was used as a weapon in a bizarre attack could not get the
What?
surgery it needs because it's under police protective custody.
It's just in Florida.
Florida?
This has to be in
Florida.
Florida, come on.
Florida,
It's gotta be
Africa.
Florida.
Or Africa.
This is Paintsville. I don't know where that is. It doesn't
Pinksville?
say. Ohio.
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 Now, let me tell you the story.
This
Oh,
is
Cooper.
outrageous.
Cooper the iguana is missing part
Cooper.
of its tail.
okay.
Cooper. And also has a leg fracture after an angry diner swung the animal around his head and then threw it at a restaurant manager in Paintsville, Ohio last month.
How did that even
Oh
happen?
my God.
So
I do not even know.
he was eating at the diner with an iguana with him. That we know, right? He had an iguana as a pet. And I guess he got angry and started swinging around. Like, what happened? Is eating his pancakes?
He grabbed poor Cooper and swung it around. No, he was mad at the restaurant manager.
Gave him
He swung
decaf.
the animal around his head and then threw it at the restaurant manager.
Jesus.
The surgery is going to cost $1,600. The guy who threw it was 49 years old and has been charged with animal cruelty and disorderly conduct.
I should hope so.
Good. Yeah, he deserves it. You know what?
I saw that headline and I was
anything
like,
wrong.
what the
No.
hell?
Go ahead and put him down too. I'm sorry. Go ahead and put him on the list of people. Jesse.
Break his leg.
Yeah.
He needs to be euthanized.
Yeah.
What?
Something like that.
What did you say?
That guy.
Euthanized.
That guy
You know.
needs
Oh,
to
the
be
guy.
euthanized.
Yeah.
Not
No,
the
the-
iguana.
Yeah. No, not the iguana. The iguana needs to be in protective custody.
She's really pretty.
I bet she is. Not that I have a thing
She's
for iguanas.
blue. She's blue and green. She's pretty. Yeah. So now we have a caption contest.
All right.
You ready for
Let
this?
me pull up the image for the
Captain.
caption contest. And our guest has seen this image, so he can definitely chime in as well. He's been pretty quiet.
I think we scared him.
Yeah,
scare
that
you?
tends to happen about this point in the show.
And Mr. P, did we scare you? Did we scare you?
Hell no.
All right,
Hell
that's
no.
good. That's good. Let's see.
No, but Becky was giving us the headlines there, so I was letting her give us the news.
Yeah, we're so rambunctious. We just chime in.
But Becky, I just want to know: is it fake news?
No.
Yeah, none of this is from CNN, so we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here's the caption up on the screen here. Single and ready to pringle.
Who is that, Mr. Deadman?
I think that might be me. I can't comment really. I mean, it looks like Jesus, kind of. Not really. I mean, from a distance,
No.
if you look at it.
No.
He is packing.
Oh, fuck.
Was packing a can.
Talk about tooting your own horn there.
I know, right?
Okay. Are you ready for the comments?
Yes.
Yeah. Are we?
What?
There's some good ones. There's some good ones.
Oh, yeah. Once you pop, you just can't stop.
You can't. You can't. Once you pop, you can't stop. I like that. Once you pop, you can't
I'm
stop.
done for the day. I should have never opened Facebook.
True.
And then the sad thing is I had Pringles for lunch.
Oh.
Yeah.
This just enhances the flavor. This is how you get that cheese flavor. It's cock cheese.
Be quiet. No, hush. When I told the doctor I wanted to make it bigger, this wasn't quite what I had in mind.
It's penis pump. Is that what it is?
He's all stacked.
He's all stacked.
Contents may have settled during shipment, he says.
Mm.
They all come in different flavors. Thank God it's not a bag of bugles. It's not the size of the can, it's the size of the man. I know you
In
want
the
to
can.
hear I know you want to hear it pop, but don't stomp on the Pringles can. Coachella 2019 brings a whole new meaning to junk food.
Ah, that's funny. That's funny.
I like that one.
To thine own self be true. Is everything in the can?
Is everything in the can? Mm.
Yeah. Judging by the trumpet and nudity, I would think this might be one of the angels of the apocalypse. And just like that, I know longer lactators of any kind. Cometh the hour, cometh the man.
Good stuff.
Bitch said she wanted some Pringles. Where the fuck she at? Got my shit all smelling like cheddar for nothing. Pugsley Adams, Woodstock 2019.
I like that.
When the brownies you were given at your hippie grandparents' house finally take effect.
Oh, that's good too.
It's for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, what the fuck ever. Okay, which one?
You know, honestly, guys, y'all chime in. But I think the one we laughed the most at was "What You Pop You Can't Stop." But was it the first one? It wasn't the first one.
No, the first one
You
was
are
really good
not,
too.
Not gonna pick that.
Was it Ralph Moody?
Yep.
Okay.
He's disqualified.
Temporarily.
Moody, you're out.
But make us laugh. Continue, make us laugh. What was the other one that we left out? The different flavors. They come in different flavors. That was funny.
No.
Who did that?
No. Me?
No? Oh, that doesn't
No.
count. How about I'm done on Facebook for the day?
How about the brownies?
That was Tony.
The brownies?
The brownies was pretty good.
Oh, I agree.
I like that. I can't believe. Thank God it's not a bag of bugles.
I think the brownies better. But
Okay. The brownies, that's favorite.
Yeah, the brownies. So
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. I like that one though. That was funny.
that was good. That was good.
Brownies.
That was our caption contest there. We have a poll. We have a question.
Yeah, we do.
How
would you rather die?
Oh man, you gotta say it all theatrical like this. That way you can get kicked off YouTube. And in the guise of someone can say, "Oh, you're doing death threats now." Ready? How would you like to die?
How would you like?
How would you like to die?
Well, shall I tell you the options?
Okay, what are the options?
Shot.
Okay.
Like in the face?
Smothered. Well, it doesn't say where. Okay. Smothered by, and I believe that was SK for boobs.
Yes.
Starved.
Boobs.
Drowned. Buried alive, or burned.
I can give you my answer.
Okay. What?
Out of those options, the best one would be to be smothered to death by boobs.
Dude,
Right.
I am with you 100% on that. Smothered to death by boobs.
Yes. Make it happen. Just do it. It'd be great.
Well,
Yeah.
we had 12 votes for shot, 3 votes for boobs, 2 votes
What?
for starved,
Okay, wait.
and 1 vote for drowned.
3 votes for boobs? That's it?
Wait.
Yeah.
The votes for shots. How many of those were women?
The votes for shots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Stumped her. I thought she was on top of this.
Let's see. 1,
3,
2,
I think.
3.
3? 3? Okay. And of course, how many women said smothered by boobs? Like 0, right?
1.
0.
One?
1.
But these numbers, you can't really do much of statistics with these numbers, right? It's kind of like, eh. But so you got 3 for shot. And how many?
This is the thing that 3 people said they would rather starve or drown rather than be smothered by boobs. What is wrong with you fuckers?
I don't
Come
want to
on.
be smothered by boobs. What the fuck?
You'd rather starve?
I'd rather starve.
You'd rather starve. Like
Yeah.
starve. Like as
No,
in
you-
no food.
Becky,
Yeah.
as somebody who has seen people starve, you would definitely not want to die by starvation.
You would-
Well, I don't want to be smothered by boobs. I have boobs.
Well,
I could probably stand on my
that's
head and
fine
smother
for you.
myself.
That's
Well,
fine
do
for you.
that.
I'm talking about these 3 guys who voted against that.
Yeah.
That's just weird to me. What's wrong with you? Starving is a horrible way to go. Boobs are sweet and soft.
hmm
They're not sweet and soft, and they're
You could just smother
smothering
me.
you.
You could just smother me with a pillow. But if boobs were an option, it'd be great. You know? Would not
Right.
protest. Would not protest. Be like, just make it happen.
Well, you'd protest a lot less than if over a pillow.
Yeah, definitely would. You know,
Just
or-
let it happen.
I mean,
just
the
let
woman-
it happen.
Hell, a chicken flat out sit on my face and smother me that way. I'd be like, done. You know?
I'm okay.
I'm
Hey,
okay with
listen,
that.
I'm okay with that too.
You know, it's like
With a
Queen-
chicken sitting on your face.
No,
like queen
the
me,
woman.
queen me.
Oh, I thought you said it.
Chick. He said chick.
I thought he said
Chick
chicken.
happens to be, Becky, slang for a young female adult.
Yes, I
human.
understand.
Not a chicken. Why would I want a chicken to sit on my face? That's horrible.
I don't
but-
know. I thought that's what you said.
but
But I was confused.
If it was possible to eat. Okay, if
Just
for some
imagining
reason, if this
chicken
was possible,
just face.
eat so many chicken fajitas to where you just like explode, like the fat guy on the meaning of life. That's a
Oh,
one, right?
God.
If that's an option, I would do that. Eat so many fajitas, drink so many margaritas endlessly.
See,
until
Kelly
I
thought you
explode.
said chicken too.
Well, all right. Well, you know,
Yeah.
maybe I'm thinking chicken. Maybe I'd rather be buried in chicken fajitas and eat
There you go.
and drink my way out until I just explode like that fat guy. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess if he
would you
used
still feel
more
that way if it
clear
was
and
infamous?
respectful terminology.
No.
I
Or Mars Girl?
respected-
No.
I guess if he
think
used
you're
more
stretching
clear
the
and
definition
respectful
of chick.
terminology for women, we'd understand better.
First of all, I think Infamous might be a dude, and Mars Girl is like, ugh. Oh, I'm sorry. Those are one sets of boobs. Nah. I'm sorry.
I don't know, just hoping he can make it easier for us poor women.
Yes,
Us women
yes.
folk don't understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Man, oh man. Oh, we got some time. We got like less than a minute. My last question I like to ask guests is, what is your favorite horror movie? Because we do kind of talk about horror here and there, and this or 1%. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Did we lose you?
Did we lose him?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
did we lose him? Is he gone?
No, he's still there. Christopher.
Chris, Mr.
Oh,
Paniccia.
no, I think I lost you there for a
Mr.
second.
P. Okay. What is your favorite horror movie? If you have one. You gotta have
Favorite
one.
horror movie?
Yeah.
Probably Salem's Lot.
Ooh, a nice
Oh.
choice.
That seems to be a lot of people's favorites.
And I think it's my favorite because it happened at a time when I was young, and it still scares the crap out of me today. And it's one of those movies that is done very well, and even could stand up today as a decent horror flick.
Now, how does it stand up to let's say the Shining?
Well, The Shining is definitely cool. Here's Johnny.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, The Shining is definitely up there. It's definitely one of my favorites of all time. And I mean, just Jack himself. I mean, he just made the movie.
Of
So
course he did. Yeah.
Red Rum.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, those two movies are definitely up there on my list. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Jack Nicholson he just about makes every movie great. Any movie he's in is going to be pretty good. Yeah, pretty good pick. Pretty good pick.
Yep.
For you guys, SK, Becky, have y'all seen anything recent? Have y'all changed y'all's minds about favorite horror film?
Nope.
I have not seen anything new horror-wise. I watched the Bundy movie, though. The new Bundy movie on Netflix.
Oh, I have not seen that. Is it good?
It's
Now is that the one?
kinda.
Is that the one with Zac Efron in it?
Yes. And let me tell you, it's less about Bundy than it is about his girlfriend.
Huh. That's a weird choice.
Yeah. Well, it's based. You find out at the end. You find out it's based on the book that she wrote eventually.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
The girlfriend still in the credit
a lot
for
of
the serial killer. Jesus, come on now. Who did the heavy work here, huh?
Yeah.
Come on.
You
The
know,
heavy lifting, the
it
digging.
is a very interesting take, but you don't know that it's kind of her story right off the bat, and you go into it, and all of a sudden it just kind of mentions like all these missing women in Seattle in passing, and you're like, what? You're just gonna dance right past this? And all of a sudden he's in Utah. Boom. And I was like, what's it's kind of disjointed like that. And it doesn't really make it clear that you're supposed to be seeing her perspective. But there's some good stuff in it, definitely.
All right, well, I'll check it out and share my thoughts on it as well. Well, Mr. Paniccia. Did I say it right that time? Paniccia.
You got it.
All right. It was
Oh
great
my
having you on the
God.
show. I totally dig the conspiracy segment. I wasn't fully ready for it. I don't know if SK was. I think
I wasn't either. It was fun.
it was. I love those topics because first of all, I just having my mind being blown by like facts. I'm just like, what's going on here? But we gotta set up maybe like a debate between like you and someone
I
else.
have wanted to do that. I've wanted so much. One of the things I've wanted to get, you know this, Jesse.
Yeah,
you know
so
what
I'm
I'm
trying
going to say.
hard. Is a
A
flat,
flat
earther.
earther to debate a hollow earther. That's been my dream debate for a long time.
And here's what
Well,
happens.
we can certainly put something together and definitely debate it because that's that's definitely what I love to do. I mean, I love to just put stuff out there. The cool part about conspiracy theories is there's a lot more fact behind conspiracies than people really want to let on about. So many people want to discredit the conspiracy that they fail to see all the information that's actually out there on many of these conspiracies.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
you know
it would be great to sit and
Mm.
have a nice discussion, a nice debate
You know
about
what?
some of these things.
For that one, for the flat earther and the hollow earther, because every time I ask conspiracy groups, I get the flat earthers coming out, but the hollow earthers don't come out. They're not coming out to play. So I'll tell you
We
what I'll
got
do.
one now.
All right. So, Mr. P, do you consider yourself a flat earth and a hollow earth?
Hollow earther.
A hollow earther.
I mean, for the purposes of the debate, I would join on
Okay.
the side of the hollow earth, sure.
I get
But as
You
I
think
said,
you could hold up that end of it?
absolutely.
Awesome. That's all you need.
well.
Yeah, you don't have to, really. It doesn't matter how much you believe it, as much as how well you can defend it, right?
Oh, trust me, I'll be prepared.
Now we
Awesome.
just have to find someone who can stand their own with the flat Earth theory, and if not, then it's probably gonna be me. Drunk
Oh
on
my
knowledge.
God.
Of course, the Earth is
Drunk.
flat. I live in
You
Texas.
got
gotta
the
I've
have
seen
first
it.
word
Wait,
right.
he's got to have his tequila first.
I'll be drunk on knowledge.
No, you got the first word right. Drunk.
I'll be drunk and determined to win. But god damn it, the Earth is flat. Damn it! Don't you know those globes all fund the globalists?
Just ask Becky. She'll tell you. I'm kidding.
Ah. All right, but Mr. P, it was great having you on the show. You are welcome back at any time. Just let us know what you want to do, what you want to talk about. Cool, we talk about it. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Your support is deeply appreciated. Smash that
Yeah,
like
y'all
button.
rock.
Share, subscribe. Let other people know about the show, too. Y'all take it
And
easy.
thanks for playing around in the chat. We really like that.
Mm-hmm.